You have a sort of parallel country in this country, made up of people that have lived all over the world, or that are half this or half that, or that simply have a lot of understanding of foreign cultures, hence more tolerance. And I suppose Vision of Peace 2 is a celebration of London and the different diasporas that exist in it. I took satellite images of Baghdad to represent the head of a figure, and a satellite image of London, which represents pretty much the boots or the shins of a figure. And then I juxtaposed them digitally to make up the gut, the torso, the soul of this figure. It's actually a theme I really feel I could work on a lot more and do other iterations, because there is an Iraqi diaspora, but there are also a million other diasporas here. Hope is my response to being commissioned to create a piece visualizing the end of war and the beginning of a new chapter in a country's life. So a vision of peace for Iraq in this case, but ultimately any land after war is confronted to the same things. I based my response on local ancient literature, notably the descent of Ishtar to the underworld. This is a Babylonian myth, and in it, the goddess of war and sex, Ishtar, leaves her world of perfection and chooses to go looking for something, no one knows what, something in the underworld. So she goes through a lot of things and in the end dies. Now, when the gods see what life is like without her, they decide to bring her back, because life has lost its meaning, its pizzazz. No one is having violence or offspring. So they send a messenger to sprinkle the waters of life back on her. And through allegory, I'm sort of putting this country in the place of this woman, or this goddess rather, leaving the underworld and coming back up to life. Eve is a tribute to every woman. In every woman there is the very sensual, and there's also the very real, the sweat and the periods and the excrement, which I've tried to express here with earth, with painting parts of the woman with mud. I've thought about Jumana Haddad's book, I Kill Shahrazad, and in it she does really question why the three monotheistic religions portray Eve as being made out of Adam's ribs. So here I'm sort of reaffirming, confirming that she's not. And I tried to depict her as highly sensual, bordering the erotic, but still very dignified. In this, I also wanted to express my rejection of how sometimes society can be very pushy to girls in making them feel that womanhood is something that, rather than to be enjoyed for ourselves, it's actually something for others' enjoyment. This specific piece is inspired not only by the contemporary current affairs, but also by a painting of Giotto's The Lamentation of Christ. And you've got angels looking down, crying over Christ's death. And I suppose I was trying to express my tears over the destruction of some heritage sites, of some museum pieces, and most importantly of the spirit of people feeling so dismayed by the effects of war. I also specifically chose Christian visual jargon to highlight that well, not only are there Christians and Jews and many, many other religions in Iraq, that is not necessarily a known fact, but also that the heritage of Babylon, of Assyria, of Sumeria is a world heritage. And if it gets destroyed by war or by careless soldiers, then everybody's losing out, not just Iraqis. Giving birth is actually a very magical experience, because you have, for the first time, a higher purpose. So it's not about you anymore. It's not even about your art anymore. It's about a living being, and you're just the vehicle. My father always said, a mother is a goddess. And for the first time I understood why. The piece called The Miracle of Life has never been welcomed. It's not a commercial piece. It's not particularly beautiful. But I find it very genuine, in the sense that it communicates a different state, a surreal state that every mother goes through while expulsing this life from her womb. It's everything people dislike, because it's just so not manicured and so not presentable. And I even actually chose to do it on 2 canvases, so that you can get a sense of the tearing apart that you can feel while giving birth. The bull for me represents all that we cannot control in ourselves. It's this moment of when you lose it, and you perhaps sometimes do things or say things or feel things that are quite extreme. It's the unleashing of life, really. And also, once again, throughout art and literature, there's always a reference to the bull. So Picasso also has some drawings of bullfights, and I find it's a beautiful animal. What does it mean to me to be an artist? It means the whole world, really. My life is about art, and it fuses itself in the work I do, but also in every decision I make. It means trying to see the poetry in everything.